This morning, the class of 2020 will be given information about selecting courses for the 2017-2018 school year. All students are receiving two things. The first is a blue sophomore year course selection sheet, and the second is a sheet with instructions on how to input course selections online using eSchool Student Access. Students will be responsible for inputting their own classes into the computer this year, so please listen carefully to all information and instructions. After graduation requirements and schedule options are presented, you will be given specific instructions on how to use the course selection area in Student Access Online. Students will be able to enter their course selections online starting Thursday, January 12th, and the system will be open for entry until Wednesday, January 18th. Courses can be entered at home or in school during this time frame. Students will no longer be able to enter classes or make changes after January 18th. It is important to get your course selection sheet completed as soon as possible to aid you in entering classes online. Teachers will speak more about offerings in specific departments and take time to sign course selection sheets for classes that need it. Please keep your course selection sheet at school until tomorrow so you can get the appropriate signatures. In addition to having online course requests completed, students must also turn in their completed course selection sheet to the guidance office by Wednesday, January 18th. There will be a box on Mrs. Sasso's desk for you to put your course selection sheet. Students will have individual appointments with their counselor sometime in January or February. You will be called out of a class for this appointment. At this time, you will go over your online course requests. Now we will review graduation requirements for the class of 2020 so you can ensure that you select what you need for sophomore year. All students need 24 credits to graduate from high school. Each semester-long class that is passed is worth a half of a credit. If you earn at least 6 credits every year, you will be on track for graduation. Within the 24 credits needed, there are specific requirements that you must be aware of. All students must pass 4 credits of English to graduate: English 9, English 10, English 11, and then English 12 or another English elective. Students also need 3 credits of math, including algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. You need 2 credits of science and 2 credits of social studies. Within social studies, 1 credit must be in U.S. history, a half credit must be taken in American government, and a half in world studies. Consumer education is a graduation requirement that you may take sophomore through senior year. Many students take consumer ed during their sophomore year. It is a half credit graduation requirement. Students are also required to be enrolled in PE unless they are taking health or driver's education at BHS. Students taking driver's education at BHS will earn 3 credits of PE, and students taking driver's education privately will earn 3.5 credits of PE. All students will earn a half credit of health at BHS. 1 credit is required in fine arts, world language, or tech ed. And lastly, you need 8 credits of electives. Your counselor will review your transcript with you during your individual appointment, so you will know how many credits you have now and how many you will need sophomore year, as well as what course requirements you may be missing. If you will be attending a 4-year college after high school, the requirements differ from our high school graduation requirements. Colleges expect you to have 4 years of English and 3 years of math in high school, which we require. However, 4 years of math is recommended. However, you will need to take an extra credit in science and an extra credit in social studies in order to be accepted at most universities. We only require you to have 2 credits in these areas to graduate. Being familiar with specific college admissions requirements will ensure that you take the courses you need to be admitted. Taking additional courses in these core areas will only help your chances of being admitted to college. If you are unsure of what courses would benefit you, please discuss that with your counselor at your individual appointment. He or she can recommend other college prep classes based on the college and your intended major. Though foreign language is not required to graduate from BHS, many colleges and universities have a foreign language requirement for admission. It is helpful to take at least 2 years of the same foreign language in high school because many schools will require it for admission. Other colleges may accept a combination of foreign language and/or classes in the arts. Now we will discuss the specific courses that students are required to take during sophomore year. The first requirement for sophomore year is 1 credit of English. Students should choose either English 10 or English 10 Accelerated and enter the request online. If you select English 10 Accelerated, you must have the signature of your current English 9 teacher. English course selections can be entered online under the subject area of Language Arts English. Be sure to request for 1 credit of English online. All sophomores are required to take 1 credit of science. The sophomore science choices are chemistry, accelerated chemistry, integrated science, or environmental science. If you are interested in an advanced placement AP science course as a sophomore, speak to your current teacher about whether this would be appropriate for you. Talk to your current science teacher for their recommendation and have them sign your course selection sheet. Don't forget to enter 1 credit of science in your online course requests. In addition to English and science, all sophomores are required to take 1 credit of math. Talk to your current math teacher about their recommendation and have them sign your blue course selection sheet. Then be sure to enter 1 credit of math in your online requests. Although driver's education is not a graduation requirement for the class of 2020, students may choose to take it here at Belvedere High School. You must pass 9th grade PE and at least 8 classes in the 2 semesters prior to taking driver's ed. Your counselor will review your transcript at your individual appointment in January or February to see if you are eligible to take driver's ed. If you are interested in taking driver's ed at BHS, please enter it in your online course requests. You will find it in the elective category. The last requirement for sophomores is a half credit of PE. You must check the box on the course selection sheet for PE or check the box for a PE waiver if you are eligible to do so. If you are a member of marching band and wish to take a different class instead of PE in the fall, you must turn in a PE waiver to Student Services and your counselor will add your replacement class to your course request. PE waiver forms are available in the guidance office. If you are not waiving out of PE next year, you should enter in 1 half credit of PE in your online course requests. An additional semester of PE is required if you plan to take driver's education privately. Students who are on track to graduate and wish to take a study hall during their sophomore year should check the appropriate box on their course selection sheet and enter the request online. Study hall can be found under the subject area of electives in the course request area online. Students have the option to take a study hall all year, half a year, or take 7 full classes with no study hall. If you wish to take a study hall next year, you must select online semester 1, semester 2, or both. Remember that you do not receive credit for study halls. When entering classes online, you will only be able to enter up to 7 credits. However, if you are taking a study hall all year, you should only enter 6 credits. If you are taking a study hall for just 1 semester, you should enter 6.5 credits online. The course selection sheet has room for you to select up to 8 electives for sophomore year. Please fill this area out with as many electives as you can think of. It is important that you list the classes in order of preference because counselors use this sheet to give students alternates if first choices are full or do not fit into your schedule. You will not be able to enter your backup choices into the student access online. As I said earlier, you will only be entering between 6 and 7 credits depending on if you are taking a study hall or not. So please only enter the classes that are your first choices into your online requests. Backup choices will just be listed on your course sheets and used by your counselor only if they are needed later. When choosing your electives, refer to the online course catalog for course descriptions and prerequisites. Also, consider what classes you need to graduate. And classes that may be required for college admission, what your career interests are, and how much time you are willing to commit. Running Start is a program where eligible students attend Rock Valley College their junior and senior years. They earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree at the same time. To be eligible for Running Start, students must have a 3.0 cumulative GPA at the end of ninth grade. Students must also have completed Geometry, Algebra 1, English 9, and English 10 with B's or better. If you have met those requirements, you must then pass Rock Valley's placement test during your sophomore year. If you are interested in Running Start, please choose Consumer Education as one of your electives for sophomore year. If you have questions about Running Start, your counselor will answer them during your individual appointment in January or February. We will now review how to log in and use Student Access so you can complete your online course requests. The first step is to go to the Student Access website. The link is above. Second, you will select the Student Access tab. Next, select eSchool Student Access Login toward the bottom of the page. From the eSchool Student Access login link, you will log into Student Access by entering your username and password just like you would on school computers. Your username is your student ID number with an S before it, and your password is your 6-digit date of birth. For example, if your birth date is January 2nd, 1998, you would put in 010298. You do not put in the full 4-digit year. After logging in, select Classes and then select the Requests tab. Once on the screen above, simply choose the department link to select from a variety of courses under that subject area. Click the Edit button to see all courses in a subject area. Use your course selection sheet to guide you. For example, if I selected the department Language Arts and English, I would see the screen below to select my courses. As you can see, I selected English 10 by clicking in the box next to English 10. That's it. Make sure you click Save and then choose another department. To change a course, simply uncheck the box and click Save. Use your course selection form to choose all of your required courses and your top priority elective choices. Always select the Save tab after choosing a course. Remember that you will only be selecting between 6 and 7 credits. Do not add more than 7 credits. The courses you are unable to fit into your course request will only be added by your counselor later if a class you choose does not fit into your schedule or if a class is full. After you select your 6 to 7 credits, you can log out of the Student Access Center. A few last reminders to students regarding the course selection process. Remember to have teachers sign off on your course selection sheet. Also, you and a parent must sign your form before turning it into the guidance office. You may enter your course selections into the online Student Access between January 12th and January 18th. If you do not have internet access at home, computers will be available before and after school in the guidance office for course entry. There is a spot on the bottom of your course selection sheet to check off that you have completed the online requests. You must submit your completed form to the guidance office after entering online course requests by January 18th. All current ninth graders will be called down for an individual appointment with their counselor starting at the end of January. Here's a list of the counselors and their part of the alphabet. Mr. Young, whose voice you have been listening to throughout this entire presentation, has students with last names A to G. Mrs. Gamori has students H to PA, as well as EL students. Mrs. Eklund has students PB through Z. Counselors will not be available for scheduling questions before individual appointments, so please be patient and write down all of your questions. They will be addressed at your individual counselor appointment later in the month. Also, feel free to watch this PowerPoint presentation again for clarification. It will be posted on the district website. Your counselor will be checking your online course selections to ensure that you entered all required courses and to check you have met prerequisites. Though you will be unable to make changes after January 26th, your counselor can January 18th. Counselors can make changes or add classes to your online selections during your appointment if necessary. They look forward to discussing your sophomore year classes with you.